Hello, everyone. This case has hit so many people hard to believe that another scenario of parents killing their kids. It happens too often. I found out a lot more information, which I'm sure y'all had done heard by now. I figured it's about time let's have a discussion about it, and I will show y'all a little bit of information too. First off, I always like to start with a Bible study, a Bible verse. It says, "But whoso shall feed one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea." Under the copyright disclaimer, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hope everyone's having a good day today. It's been a little bit of a rough day for me. One of my cousins passed away, and I don't know any other details than that other than he passed away. Um, so, what are y'all takes on this? I'd like to hear y'all's takes, and I'll go ahead and even show y'all Dad's profile over at Facebook, how it was. You see the pictures of the little boys. If y'all can see that, I need to go ahead and make this a full screen. Change it around to a full screen. Okay. Facebook. Pictures of this little one right here. This is on these separate pictures. Fishing with one of his kids. Three little boys in the back. Well, this was January 15, 2022. But there's a lot of things that I had heard as well. And I don't know whether or not anybody has heard the video, and I want to give thanks to the docket at YouTube. I will play the audio so that y'all can hear the audio calls. And he does not monetize, he pays for it straight.
The 1965 Laurel Lindale 1965 Laurel Lynn, open line screaming.
20 hour both in row.
Both units in route 1660. 6 Forever 2960. The female in the background screaming, "My baby." We've got EMS dispatch now as well.
20 in route 27. Sorry, 9, you're clear. We're cool.
6 Forever 87 clear as well.
Clear.
Number 51, check up.
One on phone.
1617.
33, unknown problem. "965 Lindale Road, cross of Franklin Road and Claremontville Laurel Road. Unknown problem. Medic 33. Engine 32. Respond on fire ground 5. 16, 17 hours.
Bravo 34, I passed my complaint. We're going to be out at 450 Club at the church.
You're good.
Medic 33.
Mag 33, go ahead.
6-3, fires.
Negative.
Have PD expedite. Female here at the station shooting her and her family.
Sounds like we're getting another call from someone in the area. Break.
Good.
Females at the station or you're on scene? Getting a call now from Misty advising grandfather told her that
There's a male across the street with a firearm. He's active shooting expedite.
the female said that her grandfather was killing everyone in the house and that the female went to the fire station. Break. You're clear, male active looking at 1618.
Go ahead.
Engine back 33 responding.
There's a male actively shooting at the firehouse.
Sorry, shots fired, shots fired.
Base is on 99.
24, I'm converting you route to 7.
You're clear. Shots fired at 1619.
Route 14, page traffic.
At station 33, 1619.
3, how many houses down?
Lieutenant 3302 to medic 30. Get in the station.
You're clear. Bank 33, get into the station.
34.
Chief 32 route.
T3302, you're cleared.
3302, what is the status of PD?
The 63, what's your ETA? PD's en route. I have appears to be 7 deputies en route at this time, trying to get a quotation for you.
That's 5, 6 out.
That's clear. Medic 51 available.
Medic 33, can you advise if you're seeing the fire department now? As far as we can understand, no one's been hit. All the tenants of the fire station have been advised to get inside. 51 available, 1620.
Number 51, including this traffic stop calls will be in route. Medic 30 to Lieutenant 3302.
Lieutenant T3302.
Okay.
Just so everyone's aware, there's a 16-year-old female that ran from the original house that was going to the firehouse for help. Not sure she's at now.
63 here, clear to get a description of the male to shoot.
Information, the shooting occurred in 65 since the assailant, I believe the victim's at station 33. You want me to dispatch additional to the stage somewhere? Negative. This was called out. The shooting was occurred by the fire station. They all are back in firehouse.
Number of potential victims.
Stage 3, can you advise? Station 33. You know traffic, you're digital.
Agent 32, we got Station 33 on public service. They're unable to get inside the fire time.
Your radio's still digital, but the fire department is who told us that shots were fired.
We're trying at this time.
Okay, and anybody still shooting, we're trying to relay the information to deputies.
37, I'm free with a 47.
Male shootings of male white green shoe jeans on the front porch of 1965 Laurel. Here, sir. All units responding to Laurel Lindale. The shooter is a male white green shirt, blue jeans, front porch of 1965 Laurel Lindale.
Lieutenant 33, they're unable to get a description. They're pinned down at this time. They're saying that the assailant has a couple parties with him of some sort.
Clear 3 minutes out.
Clear. 3 children have been not breathing. Can they advise that there's more than one person with a weapon and shooting?
Negative. We can hear gunfire in the background.
Medic 32 to Lieutenant 2. Additional call sounds like. Do you want me to dispatch additional medics to stage somewhere?
Yes, additional medics have been staged at Bethlehem, Richmond, and Laurel and
You're cleared medics to stage Bethlehem, Richmond, Laurel, Lindale, 1622.
Medic 32, turn your sirens off.
Medic 32, shut your sirens down.
Medic 33.
3302 to engine 32, Monroe 1.
Closest units en route, 1965 Laurel, Lindale. It sounds like the male's still on the porch. There are multiple children, and there are... Medic 3, go ahead.
29, you're clear. Mile and a half out.
Be advised, we have a juvenile secured in the station. The male is still at the residence. Directly next to the station. The male is still on scene.
We're putting air on standby. Do you reference any victims?
She's advised he shot up her entire family.
We're in for like close contact.
I can't copy.
We're getting ready to be reset here. You're talking out. Let's just do it now.
Station 33. Gunshot, stabbing, or penetrating trauma. (1965) Laurel Lindale Road, cross of Sun Laurel Road and Claremontville Laurel Road. Gunshot, sting, or penetrating trauma. Medic 32, Medic 36, 1623 hours.
He said it was a back channel.
Okay, we are putting air care in by at this time. Also, Medic 36 has been dispatched. Trying to get additional medic. Just stay on primary. We're fast right now. Everyone can just inquiry.
G3302.
Go ahead.
Chad, I'm gonna kill the siren right here.
Go ahead and give me an additional engine response from mutual aid department. Unit stage 232 and 30.
Okay, News England 232 and Liberty 1624.
Engine 33, Monroe 1.
The female that went to their house is advising that the male shot the entire family.
29-137. Okay, I'm off just before Laurel Lindale. Possible chances of getting to the station.
33. Station 33 confirming the members are all inside the fire department now.
Right, you come to the station. It's going to be right across from Chris's. We've got station secured with a female juvenile in here.
She's still out.
8-7. The shooter's still on the porch. You know, he was when I came inside. He was still outside. He's in his house. There's multiple victims.
We've asked, the last place we've been told he was on the porch.
Just when I came inside, he's still outside.
30 units for secure building. Show engine 32, medic 32.
3302, Lieutenant 3202, Monroe 1.
37, I'll be at live storage on a 35X.
Is it doing rifle? Do we know?
Okay, engine 32 and medic 32, stage 1625. You're clear.
Man, let's throw in the mid. Not showing his hands, not following commands.
None of your units commit to 33. I'm coming in that way. I'll ban them. I'll go there. I'll be there in about 40 seconds.
Chief 36 and around.
Visual on male not showing hands or following commands.
That's clear. We are staged
His name is Chad Doerman. Tad Doerman.
at 2025.
Further details. T36 will be responding. Disinformation, Fireground 5 been assigned for the detail, and they're requesting that you stage
If people need first aid and he's not complying, you know he's a shooter, shoot him.
232 in Liberty.
Have these cars out of the way.
Clear on all.
Message one, of course.
Mag 36, you're clear in Route 1626. You're clear in staging area. 1626.
Med 36 clear staging. Did they assign a staging point?
232 in Liberty. 232 in Liberty.
Medic 30 clear on 2 in Liberty.
6 Robert 29 and 63 attack up.
I got one here right now.
Medic 45, we also clear in the staging point.
Chief 33, do you have a ETA on law enforcement?
EMS is staged and air carriers go ahead and fly whenever any units can advise.
Robert 72.
Go ahead. I have 2 deputies that are on scene, and I'm trying to read through the net reference to mail.
Lieutenant 3302.
If those guys can confirm that there's people that need first aid and that's the shooter, he's not complying, they need to take care of the victims. If they have to shoot him, then shoot him.
Information, they do have a visual on the mail per PD. He's not following commands, so go ahead. 6 Robert 29, 6
21, get at the here now. Shoot kids down.
63, we're 21. Get EMS over here.
You're clear. 21 EMS respond.
Lieutenant 3302. Related PD, we had a bystander. There's a juvenile patient laying down in the backyard.
63.
Okay, PD's requesting that you respond in reference to the mail they're out with. And where's the 34 question, the juvenile?
And we had 3 kids down.
The down 1527.
The backyard. You're requesting us to respond in per PD, correct?
63, we're 21. Have EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised. Somebody just one for me.
Robert 34, just started mass K response.
63, do you want them to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
Right in the front yard.
Rescue 66 en route.
You want us to respond in, Mikey? I've got a female here.
Anytime.
Rescue 66, okay, 1628. Need EMS to respond for PD to the 1965 Laurel Lindale, 1965 Laurel Lindale address.
Negative 45, we're clear. Support 32 is en route.
432, copy Junior Route 1628.
Correction, it's a 32. Medic 32 is going to be on at the shooting. Station 33 is staging at 3 until further.
Okay, Medic 32, Engine 32 on to the 1965 Laurel Lynn. The 33s are staging at the station until now at 1628.
Chief 3302.
Go ahead.
Give me 2 more medic units. Can't see.
Confirming 2 more medics to the 1965 Laurel Lindo address.
63, can you just start sending medic units?
Confirming that was for the 1965 address, correct?
Affirmative.
All being advised to come. They've requested 2 additional medics. There's also air carriers flying, but they need an LZ. The medics haven't yet.
Okay, I felt like since I had that information and saw that a while ago, I wanted to share it with everybody. I'm like, wow, I could not believe it. You know, it's something else when you go and you watch these stories. Yeah, I watched the interview, the man neighbor too. It was so disheartening, wasn't it? goes up there and he has to look over there towards the tent where they have the stuffed animals where people donated to them. Remember how he says that Chad Doerman daily cussed them all out. It was a daily thing. Okay, Liplock. To the furry feelings, give a pet for me. So Baba said hello too. Yes, it's very disheartening. And then, did y'all get to see the prosecution video? Yeah. Yes. I had never fully watched the prosecution video, and I've got that as well. Would y'all like me to play it? I don't know if y'all would like me to or not, but I haven't watched it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get my voice out first.
Chad Doerman, 2023 CRA 1975. This matter is before the court today for purposes of bond hearing. Mr. Kelm, you were here on behalf of Mr. Doerman. Mr. DeCalby, Mr. Gast on behalf of the state of Ohio. Mr. Kelm is the bond. Go ahead, sir.
As the bond, Your Honor, he is 32 years old. He lives in Richmond, married, is employed. He indicates that his relatives, Gloria Doerman, Todd Frost, and T. Doerman, may act as co-signers for him. At this time, Your Honor, we would submit to the court that a bond of $75,000 with court and conditions would be appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeCalby.
Judge Mark Jacoby, Claremont County Prosecutor on behalf of the state. At this point, I'm going to let Mr. Gast handle the bond for Morning, Judge.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Good morning. Judge, we've got law enforcement with us here today. Our office has been involved. Lots of people in our office have been involved with law enforcement throughout yesterday, afternoon, evening, all the way through this morning. And the facts I have for you at this point are as follows. The trauma that this man has inflicted on his family, the community, law enforcement, first responders, and all of the rest of us who have any idea what's going on here is unspeakable. There's been a full admission in this case, Judge. The case is still new. We're still discovering facts. But the evil horror of what we know is impossible to process. In an act of just incomprehensible cruelty, the father that stands before you lined up his 3 young boys, and he executed them in his own home with a rifle. They were ages 3, 4, and 7. In an act of desperation to save her children, the mother at some point grabbed the gun the father was wielding to attempt to protect them. We know that one of the boys was able to flee into a field near home. And again, we know from his admission, the father hunted that boy down, drug him back to the property, and executed him in front of witnesses. The mother was shot through the hand in her attempt to protect her children. Judge, I asked the court in setting this bond to just begin to imagine their fear. This was the man that every day they woke up looking to for protection, love, guidance in all things. The man they trust more than any other person on earth. Person they rely upon to keep them safe from harm. He was their world. He was their guardian. be executed in cold blood. We know that from his admission. By that same admission, Judge, he has committed one of the most monstrous, craven, cowardly acts it will ever be our misfortune to see. To make things even more disturbing, Judge, this was no haphazard act. Again, by his own admission, he planned the events of this day. This did not happen on a whim. He's confessed to what I believe is the worst crime, at least I hope, that I'll see in my lifetime. I hope it's the worst fact pattern that ever comes before this court. Judge, it's important for the court to know in the bond we're going to request today, for the court to understand Claremont County deputies, Monroe Township Fire and EMS, and other first responders bravely respond to the scene where they don't know what's going on. They did not know what they're facing, and they come into a scene that no one can ever be prepared for. No law enforcement training, no training of any kind prepares you for this. It's easy to forget that these are men and women with families, children, feelings, emotions. They're not some automaton performing a delegated function. They're people. They were required to give CPR to gunshot children, 3, 4, and 7-year-old children. They held these boys in their arms, knowing there was nothing they could do to save them. How long do those scars last? The day you wake up from that and you're healed. How do you unsee such an abomination? The bond factors this court needs to consider today are set forth in Criminal Rule 46, nature and circumstance of the crime charged, and specifically whether the defendant used or had access to a weapon, including the seriousness of the offense. It's the most serious offense that we have on the books, Judge. This is it. You can't commit a more serious offense. So the nature of the crime charged is the worst crime that can be charged. Did he have access to a weapon? Yes, obviously he did. The weight of the evidence against the defendant at this point, Judge, we stand here with a full admission of the defendant. That also goes to the confirmation of the defendant's identity, and witnesses on scene did see at least part of what happened. Next, the court is to consider the likelihood this person would return to court if a bond were issued. Again, this is the most heinous crime with the most severe penalty under the law that we presented to the grand jury. That alone would be a major factor in discouraging a person from availing himself to this court or any other. And the thought to flee and the likelihood of flight is great in the state's opinion. The danger he poses to the community is a factor that this court can consider, and I think with the facts in front of you, Judge, we can't name a person that poses a greater threat to the community. As his prior record goes, Judge, it is fairly minimal. He was charged with domestic violence in 2010. He is not, to my knowledge, on probation committee control. Judge, the facts of this case are hopefully like no other we will ever see. When this case gets indicted in the court of common pleas, I am certain that a no bond hearing will be held, and I would hope that would be granted. But at this point, at this juncture, we're going to ask this court to issue a bond we've never asked for before. I'm going to ask for a bond of $20 million. I hope I never need to request such a bond again.
Thank you. Date for preliminary hearing?
The date for the preliminary hearing, Judge, is 6/26.
No objection.
The preliminary hearing will be set for June 26th at 1 p.m. At this point in time, bond's going to be set in the amount of $20 million cash or surety. Anything else at this time, Mr. Gast?
No, Judge.
Mr. Cal? Mr. Cal, anything further?
Nothing at this
All
time.
right, thank you.
All rise. Court is in recess.
Okay, I'm showing the screen still because it showed a few seconds ago this other with plunder. Because plunder, yeah, knew exactly what provoked his tears. I think the fact that he was going to be put in jail and everything, and he was thinking that, probably thinking that he would get away with it, but he looked like he looked around trying to look for his family. But Plunder had a really good one earlier, and that's where she shows. Um, see if I can see it on here. But let me go to my history right quick and I'll see if I can find it. It's usually easier to go to. History. Okay. There's a lot of other other lined up. Okay, here it is right here. I might have to mute the so I would say that you might want to go and listen to her after a while. We'll give her the credit where credit is due. Um, but she's also got it here. Data 3 Ohio boys due in court the 26th. And wife's divorce plans. Okay, wife's divorce plans. That was her divorce plan. See that? Right there. Yeah, so be sure you, I'm going to give her a thumbs up. But she showed me the information on the guy that had the audio. It's called the docket. Look up the docket, and that's where you find the call in that I have played. Yep. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due because they're the ones that provided with the information. So everybody helping each other. I noticed yesterday whenever I was watching one of the videos, it almost looked like when they were showing when the cops were arrested, they were trying to black out where the boys, where the victims were. It looked like they didn't cover up the one that was near the ditch because it looked like a body laying in the ditch. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, gosh. Well, I want to thank y'all for coming in, watching, and listening. And I hope y'all go and watch her video and give her the support too as well. And thank y'all for coming. And we got to remember to keep this family in your thoughts and prayers. There's no excuse for what this man did. There's no excuse. And they said it's been planned by all the evidence around it. And when one boy went to go run and hide, he went and sought him, hunted him, brought him back over there, and shot him on the property. How horrendous is that? Devastation. What did that 15-year-old girl that's a stepdaughter to him, she witnessed it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. You could see the one boy, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I wonder if that's the one who had tried to run to a field for safety that he brought back on the property. You're quite welcome. Thank y'all for coming and lots of love. I'm so glad I missed y'all. I got to go back to the dentist again tomorrow. I'm still not all the way healed from my dental surgery. It really did a number on me, and I got to go back and find out what else it's got to do, possibly. So thank y'all so much, and I'll say God bless each and every one of y'all. Please remember, this is about the kids. This is not about Chad Doerman. Chad Doerman's sicko that did this. It's about these innocent children did not deserve this. So thank you, and everyone, God bless.